Good afternoon. I'm back at it to drop another one on your head like, yes sir, yes sir. Now I don't want to be rude. I ain't even start with saying how you doing today. You doing alright? You doing good? I'm sure you are. But let's go ahead and get this started.
That's enough, bro.
Damn, bro, you even threatened the cat lazy.
Keep me on, I'm gonna lock you out of here.
Cat's just gangster for no reason. Cat's like, I'm gonna put you out of here. Still Mal. Mal, what you gonna do? Nothing. Look at him like, damn, man, I just can't win. Can't win nowhere.
Let's try to hit this motherfucking goal. It's Tuesday.
If you worry more about your content, you wouldn't have to worry about your goal. Just saying.
Shut up.
Bro, this I don't understand. Like, people get like pets and stuff like that. What did you expect? Like, what did you think a pet was? The whole purpose of a pet is to harass you. I just don't understand the dynamic. Like, why even get it? You know, if you really wanted something that wasn't gonna bother you, you should have got a reptile, like a turtle or something. There you go. You know, then it just kind of just sits there and stares at you.
I'm definitely not going into reacts right away. I don't feel like it.
And you still ain't hit your sub goal, and you're not doing what people are asking you to do. Like, how does that work?
Make sure you guys sub to the plug channel. You're looking for content that came off the stream, whether it be shorts, videos, or whatever that I might have said. A channel I support, clipped everything. So make sure you guys sub up. Go leave lots of comments, likes on a new video, boost the algorithm. There's a positive channel out there I'm supporting, 100,000%. So make sure you guys sub to that YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, I thought you was bigger than that, man. I thought you was bigger than that. Like I said before, if you lose a channel that got a bunch of subs on it, and you averaging even as low as 10K a video, is gonna hurt. And when I say 10K, I'm talking about views, not money, because to make like 10K on a video, it's got to be at least 3 to 4 million views.
The plug channel. We have a mod that can pin it. What up, Piers? We got a mod that can pin it.
I mean, hell, and I don't blame him. I mean, the worst that could happen is he could get banned again. I mean, hey, it's worth it. I mean, hell, it's worth a try. Can't knock somebody for trying.
It's sponsored by the YouTube channel LowTierGod with an S. You know, the luckiest girls on Twitch are the ones that literally just get to sit there, play any game, and get like 15,000 viewers.
Honestly, it don't even work like that. Now, I'm not saying it does not work like that, but more times than not, the ones that you're seeing, how can I put this? When you see it a lot, it just seems like everybody's doing it just because you're seeing the most successful versions, but you're not seeing all the ones who are getting 5 views, 10 views, 15 views. You're just seeing the top of the top because that's what the platform is going to recommend. And they don't just be successful like that all the time, because if they were, the stats wouldn't be the way they are. Even as far as OF, when you look at who's making the money and how much money was made, it ain't all of them making money. It's the top 5 to 10% making all of the money, and everybody else gets about a few hundred to like 1,000 a month.
You ever see those type of chicks?
All the time, but I don't sit there and watch them.
They just sit there, game, 15,000 viewers. Any game they play. That's got to be like a cheat code.
Yeah, I mean it is, because people gonna be gooning. But you think I'm gonna put it like this: if you think the people who troll you are weird, you have no idea the level of weird that the women got in their chat rooms. Like, let's just go ahead and keep it real one time.
That's how Emaru is. Every time I go to her, just check, I'm like, damn, she got like 15K playing anything. Damn, she lucky.
It ain't luck though, it come with a cost. Like I said, anything that come easy comes with a cost. It does not work like that. Yes, like we say, when it comes to women on media, they do get a lot more viewers and get views faster and grow faster, but for them it's far more consequential. Their lives are far more in risk than ours are, because if we pop off, yes, our lives are at risk, but we still have a certain level of a way to avoid it. We're still a man, you know what I'm saying? But as far as a woman goes, they still got those weird messages, people being obsessive, saying weird stuff. And I know you're probably like, well, they just come with the territory. Well, the difference between us and them is they're more emotional. So when that happens with them, it's more bothersome. With a man, it's like, bro, play around and find out. It's like, I ain't gonna feel sorry for what I'm gonna do to you. That's typically how a man moves. Women don't move like that. So again, it may seem like, just like the AI chick, the girl that was doing the NPC thing, where she at now? Yeah, because it don't last. And then on the side note, a new one become 18 every day. How many of y'all remember Ivy Doom Kitty? Some of y'all who was born in the late 2000s won't even know who this is. She was one of the first cosplaying females. I'm pretty sure she got the body modification where she was the hottest thing out. Now, it's not to say that she ain't relevant, but in comparison to her heights and where she was, ain't nobody paying her no mind. There's a new one turning 18 every day or every month. You know what I'm saying? Under the age of 21, right there in that spot between 18 to 21. So it's heavily competitive, and they might pop off at first and then fall off because they get replaced. It's just they're just interchangeable. They don't have longevity. They age out. So it's like, yeah, they do have a dub, but they have a very minimal amount of time to capitalize on it, and it's very rare when they're able to last a very long time. Like you said, you've been getting trolled for the past 10 to 12 years. How many females you know will, I'm talking about on a large scale, who are still around, who've been around, and were able to maintain that viewership? You can't name that many. You know what I'm saying? You could probably name a handful. So that just shows you and tells you.
No matter what it is. And 2 subs for the stream?
Y'all should start offering subs for him getting dubs. Like, you want some subs, get some wins.
I lost my motivation.
You ain't had it for a while.
Oh God.
Hey, y'all low tier glizzy goblins, y'all should start doing subs for dubs. So every time he wins, y'all start giving him subs, but not like one win. He got to get like 4 or 5 at a time. And then that way he can be motivated to play the game and get on the game. And he can stop complaining and crying about it, because look, like we've all said before, if you were actually winning, you would get more subs. But you know, bro, you playing Tetris. Play what they telling you to play.
Round 1, fight.
Man, as soon as we start.
Yeah, I figured. Same old same. Let's go ahead and move forward.
Nothing can stop me.
Brutality. Sector Ruiz.
We'll just keep coming over here, man.
Bro, why do you have a pet if you don't want the pet to come over there to get pet? Like, no time, bro.
Damn.
Round 1.
We don't even know, bro. All I know is he shouldn't be on bail. I've seen people do way less and not get bail. Let me ask you this: why the f is Brick Baby still in jail over conspiracy, right? Over an old case. Didn't kill anybody. They got Brick Baby in jail, got denied bond. This motherfucker, the white kid, out on bail.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. As far as those situations, I think a lot of people forget both sides of it. I think you should also consider putting yourself in the position of both families. One, Metcalf doing something he had no business doing, being in somebody's business, and something bad happening to him, and imagine being the parent of that kid. You get what I'm saying? Would you honestly say, if that was your kid that happened to him, would you just be like, well, shoot, he shouldn't have said nothing to that boy, nothing would have happened to him? You know damn well, like, I want to be very clear. You know damn well, if this happened to your child, you would not be just sitting there like, yeah, my son should have kept his hands to himself and wouldn't nothing happen to him. You wouldn't say that. And if you say that you would have said that, you're a damn lie. Now, let's say your kid is the one who had the blade and pulled the mess that he pulled. Are you telling me that you would have co-signed your child doing that to somebody else's? Are you saying that you would have been fine with that? And I keep hearing these arguments about other situations and scenarios that took place that have nothing to do with this situation. Every situation is different. And for it to be relatable, it needs to be solely based on this case. I know about all these other things they're talking about, Rittenhouse and all. Look, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm gonna say it again. I understand what you're saying. But what does that have to do with this right here, right now? And as far as Texas goes, I'm gonna tell you where this is gonna go left. You had the ability to walk away and you didn't. Well, guess what? Now somebody's gonna react to that. And after that, somebody's gonna react to that. See, this is how gang wars take place. You ever heard of Chirac? You ever heard of any of these places where they have like 20, 30, 40-year beefs where they just keep wiping each other out back to back to back? Because that's what happens when you just feel some type of way and you stand your ground. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're co-signing what he did, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Every time this drill stuff takes place, there's always somebody's kids crying, somebody's mama crying when somebody dying. There's always people who are hurt, putting them on t-shirts and all of that. If you want to live that life, this is what I'm gonna tell you. And this is what I can't stand about people like y'all who will sit here and move to the suburbs or the nicer areas. If you on that kind of time and you that gutter, then stay in the gutter. Stay in the hood. If you want to live like that to where you think that retaliating by taking somebody's life is okay, then stay in the hood. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's how you feel, stay in the jungle. They got fun and games.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
You know, go ahead and stay over there. It's all good. Don't come over here in civil society where people try to live like they got some sense. Now, I'm not saying Metcalf wasn't wrong for what he did, but what he did it justified a scuffle. It justified throwing hands. And if you felt as if you were so afraid to fight or you didn't want that fight, then you could have just left. I mean, that's regular school dynamics. That's regular world dynamics. If you felt as if you didn't want that drama, you would have. I guarantee you wouldn't go out there with no Crips or no Bloods or no gang or nobody who got territory and they tell you, I bet you you will move. I bet all that. I bet you won't make me move. Talk won't be going like that. See, it's funny how when it's circumstances that are relatable to, oh, I feel like I can get the upper hand on this person, so this is what I'm gonna do. No, it ain't. What you gotta understand about out here. If somebody tell me to move, I'm gonna move. I'm not doing all that with you. And if you follow me, harass me, and try to do something to me, then I'm gonna do you something. But if you tell me to, I'm gonna move, bro. I'm not gonna stand here and get in a confrontation with you. What I look like? You know what I'm saying? That's silly. That doesn't make any sense. So, and I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody can have a moment where they lose their cool. Everybody's had a moment where they yelled at somebody, cussed at somebody, or spoke to somebody aggressively, got in their face. If you're saying, and I want to be very clear about this, if you're saying he was justified in doing that to Metcalf, you better be careful what you're saying. Because if that's the case and you say you co-sign that, then that means every time you get aggressive and something happens to you, they're going to co-sign it. They're going to co-sign it. Now, on the other end with what he did, there's something called justice. And his day will be decided in court. It's not for you to take the actions into your own hands. I know a lot of people are doxing them and doing all. Hey, look, chill out, okay? And I feel like anybody who's doxing people doing all that, you should be arrested as well. But with what he did, there's due process. There's court and there's a trial. It will be left up to the court to decide what needs to happen with him. If it'll be a downgraded to a manslaughter, premeditated, whatever is decided, what his fate is going to be, that will be left to the court of law. It is not up to you to go enact your vigilante justice to try to get somebody to crash out on Carmelo Anthony. That's not your job. The job is you're not only are you putting his life in danger, you're putting people's lives in danger that had nothing to do with that situation. So while you're over here doing that, you're gonna hurt somebody innocent that has nothing to do with it. And even then, the cops are there to keep balance. They're there so we don't continue the eye for an eye game, because the world will be blind. Because if you go off and do something to him, let's say you do something to him, okay, then somebody else feels like, oh, I'm gonna do something to you. And now it's just back to back to back. Now these people ain't got kids, or they no longer have a cousin. They no longer have an uncle or aunt. And so many people are so quick to engage in violent behavior, but once the violent action happens to them, now they're crying about it like it's family. You committed a heinous act, and now you're crying about the response you got from the world. You see what I'm saying? You see how this cycle goes? How it's a lose-lose at the end of the day? Because you can't dictate how people are going to respond to you based on what you do. The only thing that you could have dictated that day was, look, he tripping. I ain't even trying to do all that, and just walked away. Or if it was that deep, push him. Like if Metcalf, this is what I'm gonna say, if Metcalf would have lost his life or got severely injured because y'all were fighting, this wouldn't even be a conversation right now. It'd be a situation of they shouldn't have been fighting, but oh, okay, they was going at it and somebody got hurt. Even then, it would be, people would be like, okay, well, he kind of earned that. That'd be, everybody would say that, everybody, because y'all was fighting and he started it and y'all threw hands. But if when you do what you did to him, nobody should be agreeing with y'all got into it. It wasn't no scuffle. It wasn't a scuffle. You just straight up committed a felony. You know what I mean? Like, that's not okay. It's not okay. And you need to stop co-signing. All the people who co-sign it, you need to stop co-signing it, because you need to remember what goes around comes around. And then, for example, look at the nuisance streamers. After Johnny Somali, how many more nuisance streamers have we seen back to back to back? And it's getting more and more common because somebody else was getting away with it. And see, what's bad is he didn't even really get away with it, but he got away with so much, and then it was a trickling effect. So if you think that if he gets off and doesn't face any type of consequences, I'm gonna just tell you this: that's not what you want. Trust me when I tell you, this is not the kind of, it's gonna look like how the movies used to look for them high school movies from the 1980s, how they used to look. When it's like, man, school wasn't like that. Yeah, some of them schools were like that. And if you want them jungle looking schools, keep playing. You're gonna get what you're looking for and what you're asking for. But you know, it got a little bit on a serious note, but we're gonna go ahead and move forward.
To Skyrim, but to Concord. I didn't expect it. Big surprise. Here we go.
So Bungie's got a new game set to release on September 23rd, 2025 called Marathon.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be this like co-op first-person shooter, extraction shooter sort of game. Players working together in what they're calling quote-unquote crews, which I believe go up to 3 people.
Man, if y'all don't quit making this whole Fortnite type of game, dog, it's like, stop making this game, man.
So potentially you'll have like 2 teams of 3 going up against each other.
Yep.
And they define the gameplay loop as
it's an extraction shooter.
Gather as much loot as you can and make it out alive.
But why though? You get what I'm saying? Why? Like, usually when you loot or do things in certain games, it usually contributes to the end game of the game. Like if you looting and stuff in Resident Evil, you got resources that you're trying to manage to make it to the end to make the game easier. When you're doing it on an RPG where you're leveling up, you take your levels and your experience with you. I don't understand of this redundant work when my objective is just to wipe the other team out. It's pointless. It does not stretch beyond one match. Now, if you got games like MMORPGs like Smite and stuff like that, where you League of Legends, when you start at level 1 and level up, that dynamic is completely different because it's me trying to out level you quicker to win the match. So the dynamic is different. It's not about no collecting items. It's I outplayed you, I leveled faster than you, and then I built my items to counteract what you're building. That's a whole different ball game. But just collecting stuff to be collecting stuff and get out with the loot, that's just, I don't get the point of that. It's just not, that ain't it.
The reception for this game is already rather tempered at best, but many are saying it looks worse than that. For example, saying it looks really boring, really bland, and uninspired.
I'm gonna say it like I always say it, man. This cow is out of milk. They keep trying to milk the dry cow.
Etc., etc. Well, in a Reddit post from the other day, on Sunday, April 13th, a Marathon dev came out with a statement addressing the issues that people have in his own special way, which you'll see in a moment.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad that they're listening.
While also mentioning that he is a dev who also worked on the one, the only, Concord. Before we read that, let's get some more context on the public reception. Here are some of the top comments from the trailer that I was just playing. Comments.
At the end of Marathon is layoffs.
Really, they should have named it something else. They can't even mess up my boy Legacy like that.
That's why all my life I've been grinding on my.
But all jokes aside, though, it's very ironic that they called it marathon and it's about to have an extremely short run. But we'll see, though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I guess we'll just we'll let time tell and find out.
Oh boy, hearing there's a new marathon game out, then finding out it's a team-based extraction shooter took me from an elated high to a depressing depth so fast. Art style has changed a lot since the first trailer.
I met a traveler.
Charm.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me. Blading crews with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing,
Now this reminds me of Dead Island. I don't know if you remember the trailer for that game, but it was all cinematic. Like, it looked like a completely different game, which I think it really hurt that game a lot, because Dead Island was a good game if it was advertised as what it actually was. And this, I think this was the same thing. Like, it's advertising the game and it's not what it is. And that really did not play as a strong suit for it. It's really never really successful when you do that, especially when you don't know what the game is. Now, if you want to be all cinematic for a game that has a history and people already know what it is, then that's something different. But for this, it looked like a much more serious, gritty game, and almost borderline looked like a campaign type of game that looked like it could have had a compelling story and been a, how can I put this, a more in-depth, more concentrated, focused game versus something that's very arcadey. And yeah, exactly what happened with Dead Island. It was extremely arcadey. You was leveling up weapons and all kinds of stuff, but when you watch the trailer, you know what, let me go ahead and play that. So you got this dramatic ass trailer, like, dang, I wonder what's about to happen here. And then this is what you wound up getting.
This is Roger Howard.
See what I'm saying? It was a whole nother game. It's all arcadey and silly. And me personally, when I saw the preview of Dead Island, I'm like, man, I don't even know what they're about to do, but it looked like it's gonna be dope. When I saw the gameplay, man, I was just so disappointed. Like, I was so disappointed when I saw the gameplay. I didn't play the actual game for like a whole nother, like 2 to 3 years when it was already out. The only reason why I played the game is because it was on like Game Pass or something. I didn't pay for it. It was free. Basically, it was one of the, I think it was either one of those free downloads. The only reason why I touched the game is basically I didn't have to pay for it, because when I saw it, I was like, that is not what I saw in that preview. I don't want to play that. And that's the same thing I see with Marathon. Is I saw a trailer that looked like it had some very, just something that would have been dope. You don't know what they were doing or what was going to go along with it, but it looked like more of a serious game, more concentrated, more focused. And then as you get to see it, you're like, oh, this is that. Alright.
You can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No two runs in Marathon ever play out the same, with dynamic events.
And what's crazy is the game don't even look bad. Like, it doesn't look like a bad game, but the only problem is the competition. You got the Switch 2, you got all these games coming out, you got Kazan that just dropped, you got some very heavy bangers, and to be an extract shooter, it's kind of like, that's not, if people are gonna have to choose between playing something else or playing this is gonna get pushed to the wayside. So I'm not here to say that, oh, it ain't gonna be fun or it's gonna be a bad game or whatever. It doesn't look bad. It looks straight. It look alright, but that's gonna get people fired. I'll just keep it real. Y'all gotta stop trying to make these milky games, because you're wasting all this money and you're not gonna get your money back. Like, I guarantee you, I could be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I guess we'll see once it drops and how the player accounts do. But people are about to get laid off. You do not know better than us. I don't know who's in control and telling y'all to do this, but you do not know better than the customer. You guys have had money way too long. You've been rich way too long. You've been doing nothing way too long, and you think you know better than we know. Now, I'm not saying that some people don't get over on ripping off their customers like 2K and Madden do. They can get away with it.
2K22 alone.
Okay, 22, 23.
Yeah, 2K22. Yeah, 22.
22. Okay, how much?
So 2K22, I added up all of my purchases, and really only added up the $100 purchases.
So you didn't even go like the little baby one.
I didn't do the 20s, the 50s, none of that. And it came out to be like, throughout the whole year, from the day the game dropped to the next game, I spent $25K.
Ooh. 25,000?
At what point does a video game stop being entertainment and just start becoming exploitation? That question is differently when you look at what NBA 2K has become. It's no longer just a basketball simulation. It's a psychological manipulation machine dressed up in NBA jersey.
Now, if you have not seen that video, go ahead and check that out. He put a lot of work into it, and it's fire. And if you disagree with that video, you're in denial. You are in denial. But basically, that's what y'all keep trying to make. You keep trying to make these money machines, but this does not apply to you. You forget Grand Theft Auto's on its way out. These money machines already exist in their own economy. GTA is going to make a crazy amount. Nintendo, despite the fact that people complaining about the prices, they're still going to buy it because of the credibility. You forget you're competing with a new Donkey Kong, you're competing with Zelda, you're competing with a new Mario Kart, you're competing with all of these games that are on their way out. And I mean, we're talking some fire games. How are you going to compete with that? Like, how is Marathon supposed to compete with that project right there? And again, I'm not saying it to down the game or not saying it for people not to play it. I'm just saying y'all need to be realistic. And I want a good product. I don't want failed products. I want a great backlog for my B-roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to the stories? What happened to co-op? Like, where are the co-op games at? Like, we don't need no huge sandbox. But now that you can actually put people in that sandbox, two people, because at first running a live on a huge game, you weren't able to do that. It had to be streamlined. But even then, those streamlined games are great. But now you have the capability of an open, not a massive open world, just a decent one, not doing too much, and make it co-op. Like, even if you had a Fable style game co-op, that would go hard. Why is there none of that? You guys keep trying to milk the same crap over and over and over again. It's over with. It's done. This Fortnite Battle Royale era is over with. It's leaving with the kids that have grown up. All of the Fortnite kids are grown now. It's a wrap. It's time to go on ahead and go back through history and start bringing back the quality, because the slop is getting old. People are not getting tired of it. And I'm seeing your ERs. You ain't making no money except for people getting ripped off on 2K and Madden. Everywhere else, y'all ain't making no money. That Suicide Squad game ain't making no money. Concord ain't making no money. You know, so y'all get, like I said, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. Like, I'm trying to tell you what you need to do. I'm trying to help you. So I don't want y'all going over there talking about we're just over here sending out hate and we're negative. And okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not going to say all of us are not negative. Some people be rage baiting, but the majority of people who get on here and actually keep it real and are true gamers and truly care about the quality of their product, We not here trying to make you lose your job. But if you come out here and you don't produce a good product, we are not obligated to support it. And that's what you guys need to understand. We are a consumer. This is not a charity. You know what I mean? But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.